the heart of the Philippines, a unique opportunity in Forex trading gently unfolds. We warmly invite you to an enlightening experience, webinar series crafted just for you. Discover a wealth of knowledge with Ms. Sachie Turiano, a compassionate mentor in your trading journey. Featured by prestigious platforms, Ms. Sachie brings a treasure trove of insights and expertise. Witness Ms. Sachie's profound wisdom as celebrated by global platforms.
Why are Forex markets moving so drastically with regards to these announcements from Janet Yellen and company over in the U.S. Federal Reserve?
Oh, well, technically, this is more in the short term, really. But fundamentally, if you're going to look into the medium to long term, market correction is still where everything's heading. But looking at what Yellen just mentioned, we've seen some recovery lately after strong downward movement. However, the pressure is still there. You know, the selling pressure on the dollar is still there, especially with Yellen's latest speech that there's a wait-and-see stance as usual.
On one hand, she is saying that they might be raising rates, but on the other hand, they are saying that inflation seems sort of tepid.
Yeah.
So how do we make sense of these mixed signals coming from the US Fed, do you think?
Okay, on my perspective as a Forex trader, you know, the Federal Reserve, they never really want to surprise markets. As much as possible, they want to make sure that the movement is slow but sure, so that, of course, that will benefit more of them, and investment-wise, it will be attracting investments slowly but surely. So that move, keeping the wait-and-see stance, is just about right. So they, you know, Federal Reserve Yellen will keep continuing to say that the Federal Reserve will most likely move only if the inflation supports their decision to actually interact.
We've been so focused on equities and fixed income during this lockdown period. It's time to turn the spotlight towards our local currency and how the peso is faring during these rough economic waters. Here to share some insights, we have with us the founder of Global Markets Eruditio, Sachie Turiano. Good morning, Sachie. Thanks for being on the stream, Sachie. Just, kicking off with a very overall health check on the local currency before you dig in deeper. We're still the third best performing in the region. I'll try and pull that out in the terminal later on. Why do you think this is still the case? What's so special about the peso?
Actually, coming from the global markets perspective, as per the Department of Finance, we have strong macroeconomic fundamentals, and you can actually see that on our inflation data, despite of course, the lockdowns and the easing on demand. In fairness, we can still see that our inflation is, at least 1% range from our 3% target. So unlike other economies in the region, they are not at par with this performance. So somehow the local demand in the Philippines is still better than others. And more than that, if you take a look at the driver between the dollar peso and the rest of the emerging currencies, you can see that with the pressure coming from the major economies such as the US, the Euro, and all that, these economies are doing massive stimulus from their central banks and therefore putting more pressure on their currencies more than in the peso. So it's more like, a combination of strong macroeconomic fundamentals plus weaker and more aggressive stimulus from abroad. So it's more of that. It's nothing really extra special for the peso.
Thank you so much. That was Sachie Turiano.
Thank you, Johnny.
In this empowering session, uncover pivotal aspects of Forex trading and navigate market risks with a fortified understanding. With Global Markets Eruditio, seize this extraordinary chance to embrace quality education and steadfast support. Join us and let's chart the path to Forex trading triumph together. At GME, we trade with passion. We trade with purpose, because every trade matters.